Once, not long ago, in a world eerily similar to ours, there stood a civilization obsessed with connection. But not connection through conversation, shared meals, or evening walks. No, this connection pulsed through screens. It lived in notifications. It whispered in hashtags. They built a tower, not of stone, but of code. Not of wood, but of content. Every post a brick. Every like a beam. Every share, a steel rod driven skyward. They called it the Tower of Connection. It started as a miracle. A teenager in Kansas could talk to a painter in Tokyo. A grandmother in Florida could watch her granddaughter dance live from a college dorm. Every voice had a chance to be heard. Finally, they said. The world speaks with one voice. But the voice was curated. Packaged? Filtered? And this wasn't the first time humans had tried to speak as one. Long ago, in the land of Shinar, an ancient people said to one another, "Come, let us build a city, with a tower that reaches to the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered over the face of the earth." They baked bricks and forged ambition. They built upward, not just with hands, but with ego. It wasn't just stone they stacked, it was identity. Power? Immortality. At first, the gods, if they existed, watched in silence. But the builders became proud. They no longer asked questions. They issued declarations. There was no room for disagreement. The tower knew all. Said all. Spoke for all. And so, as the legend goes, the divine descended. Not with wrath, but with confusion. Not with fire, but with friction. One day, the builders awoke unable to understand one another. Their words fragmented. Misunderstanding bloomed like weeds. The tower halted. They called it Babel. And though the tower remained unfinished, its echo never stopped. Back in the digital present, the Tower of Connection predicted. It suggested. It provoked. Teenagers whispered dreams into phones. Adults counted reactions like blessings. Slowly, truth bent around attention. In this new age, reflection took too long. Complexity lost to clarity. Empathy made room for engagement. What should I wear today, eh? Whatever gets more likes. What should I think? Whatever's trending. Who should I be? Whoever keeps them watching. The tower fed them back to themselves in brighter colors and louder tones. Anger got amplified. Outrage became monetized. And through it all, the tower rose. And it watched. By 2025, warnings turned into headlines. A former Meta employee testified before Congress that Instagram knew its algorithms contributed to body image issues in teenage girls, and did nothing. The Wall Street Journal published the Facebook files, revealing that internal research had confirmed the platform's role in deepening political division. Meanwhile, a viral TikTok trend encouraged teens to steal from schools, a challenge that spread so fast administrators couldn't keep up. Some students were suspended. Others arrested. All in the name of online clout. In another corner of the tower, an influencer live-streamed a mental breakdown, watched by hundreds of thousands. Instead of help, many viewers commented, laughed, and moved on to the next video. Headlines broke. Hashtags surged. Tech CEOs were called to testify. Promises were made, again. But the tower remained. It flickered in our pockets. It buzzed on our wrists. It whispered in our ears late at night. One morning, a child born into the tower's glow asked a simple question, "Why do we live here?" The parents paused. They hadn't asked that in years. No one remembered when the tower stopped being a tool and became the world. It was no longer where we visited. It was where we were. And then it happened. A glitch. No storm. No malware. Just confusion. A celebrity posted something cryptic. The interpretation fractured. Half the world laughed. The other half burned. Algorithms collided. Feeds froze. Users saw what had been hidden, unfiltered thoughts, contradictory opinions, perspectives that didn't fit. For the first time in years, silence fell. And someone whispered, "What are we building?" The question echoed. Children heard it. Elders remembered it. Influencers paused. Scrolling stopped. Another voice asked, "Do we still understand each other?" The tower stilled. For the first time, it had no suggestion. Then, slowly, the descent began. From the top floors of Outrage. From the penthouses of perfection. From the basements of doom scrolling. They climbed down. Not to abandon the tower, but to step away from its noise. They gathered. In living rooms. In cafes. In parks. They looked at one another, not through filters, but with raw, imperfect eyes. "You're here. I'm here. Let's talk." The tower still stood. It always would. But beside it, something else rose, a circle of chairs. A shared meal. A story told eye to eye. They listened. They asked. They disagreed. And in the clash of voices, they discovered music. In the tension of views, they rediscovered humanity. One teen read a poem aloud. It had one but infinite meaning. One elder told a story of protest. It didn't trend, but it transformed. In these spaces, they rebuilt language, not the kind that gets likes, but the kind that invites understanding. The tower flickered. The tower waited. Some returned. Many would. But something was different. Now, when someone climbed, they carried questions. Why am I here? What do I need? Who might I be if I weren't performing? And slowly, the tower changed. It didn't shrink. But it quieted. Some floors became libraries. Some streams became slow. Some creators paused, not out of burnout, but out of reflection. The algorithm still watched. The platform still monetized. But the people had remembered. They remembered silence. They remembered nuance. They remembered each other. One day, a stranger posted, "I miss the sound of real laughter." And 1,000 replies followed, not emojis, not gifs, just stories. Memories? Moments. And somewhere, deep in the code of the tower, a new line was written, "Maybe connection isn't how fast we reach each other, but how deeply we listen." The tower still stands. And likely always will. But beside it, below it, around it, a new landscape grows. One not made of metrics, but of meaning. And if this story moved you, if you found yourself nodding, reflecting, or maybe just smiling at a well-timed glitch, then don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and tap that little bell so you won't miss what we build next. Because the next story might just help us climb one floor higher, together.